I'm Not a Gentleman is a production of chaseandwriter.com.
And, my dad used to try to talk to me about menswear. My dad was a heavy menswear guy. And back then you couldn't pay me to wear a suit, bro. So everything went into one ear and out the other, Even my best friend, I remember I bought a $400 jersey one time. And he was like, you could have spent that on a suit, right? You don't even have one good suit. I'm like, yo, bro, I don't, I rap, bro. I'm not trying to wear a suit. You know what I mean? So it's crazy to see where I'm at now, and definitely makes me appreciate the journey even more. Yo, what up? Welcome to I'm Not a Gentleman, the show designed to help you look stylish without following trends. I'm your host, Vladimir Riché from chaseandwriter.com, and your favorite menswear YouTuber's favorite menswear YouTuber. I've helped dozens of clients and hundreds of students and viewers feel more confident by looking their best and always making a great first impression. Welcome to episode 36, aka the Jerome Bettis episode. This is a wardrobe audit, and I have my man Corey who's going to join me today. Corey is a member of the Menswear Mastermind, so I'm very excited to have him. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Yo, Corey, what's good?
Not too bad. How you doing, Vlad?
Yo, I'm great, man. It's really good to have you on here. It feels like I'm having a lot of the guys from the Menswear Mastermind joining me on the Wardrobe Audit, so it's a pleasure to have you.
Pleasure to be here. I never thought I'd ever be on your YouTube channel, so it's been a long time coming.
Well, here you are, right? So now you're about to be a celebrity. You can give your 2 weeks notice and oh man, that's funny. But I love having these kind of conversations because you're not new to me. You know what I'm saying? So we've been working together for a few months now, since early December, and I'm sure you've been watching my content since before that. So I'm really about to enjoy this conversation that we're about to have.
Definitely. Been watching you since you had that black couch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Times fly though when you're having fun, they say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's been 5 years. I just crossed 5 years for that I started my YouTube channel. So yeah, it doesn't seem like it's been that long. Although I did take a break in between that time, but still 5 years is a long time, and definitely does not feel like that. Now, one thing that I always like to ask all my guests on the Wardrobe Audit is, if we were to talk 6 months from now and you have the perfect wardrobe, what would that look like?
A perfect wardrobe for me would include having all of the staples down, like a couple, I'd say maybe 3 suits.
Okay.
And then but also having separates, like couple blazers, sharp cardigans.
Yep.
And just like essential pieces that I can mix and match, and I don't necessarily have to that I can wear between between fall and winter, and then spring and summer.
No doubt. Now, how many suits do you have now?
I have 2 suits.
Okay.
I have a dark gray single-breasted suit and a navy single-breasted suit.
Okay. And those are suits that you're looking to keep in the rotation?
Yeah, for the time being. I believe once I replace them, then I'll just transition into some better suits.
Gotcha.
They're good. They get the job done.
Yep.
But now, kind of learning from you, learning in the men's mastermind group, I kind of want to replace those and just have I guess better versions, more refined versions.
Gotcha. Yeah, but for now they definitely do the job. I get it. Now, we can go into many different directions here. But I want to pinpoint one major issue that you're looking to solve, 1 or 2, so that we can, I can best serve you on this episode. I know we've worked together in the past, and we spoke about a lot of different things, but I'm sure there are more out there that you're looking to work through.
Yeah, wanted your expertise as far as separates, which like which essential blazers that are good to kind of add towards your wardrobe
Sure.
for like the hotter days and the colder days.
Mm-hmm. Got you. So yeah, that's cool because most guys, they typically want to do like a 4-season wardrobe because it's more cost effective. But I think the real fun comes when you start to have different wardrobes, one for spring and summer and one for fall and winter. So as we are approaching spring and summer, we can start with that. I know it doesn't feel like that right now. It's like, what, 20 degrees outside right now and windy. So it's kind of cold. But the truth of the matter is spring is next month. And I'm kind of looking forward to that, even though I'm a fall and winter menswear guy. But I'm from the Caribbean, so I like the warmer weather as well. Just not for really menswear, but period, I like that kind of weather. You know what I mean? So blazers are usually referred to, well, now they're more used interchangeably. A blazer and a sport coat are two different things. They are similar, but a blazer is more of a, typically come in navy. A blazer is also going to have gold buttons as opposed to regular buttons that a sport coat would have. So I know you said blazer, but I'm assuming that you meant a sport coat technically. But like I said, these days, those things are used interchangeably. You would definitely need to start with a navy one. Even if it's not a blazer, it could be a sport coat. That's what I would recommend to start. Because that's going to be your most versatile option. Like you can't have a proper business casual wardrobe without having that navy, sport coat. I'm wearing one right now. Mine is in, it's like a heavy wool fabric. But so I would recommend something like that for fall and winter. But to talk about spring and summer, I would highly recommend that you do a knapsack one. And knapsack is going to be like a see-through fabric, if you will. So it's definitely going to keep you cool in the warmer months. The fact that it's see-through means that the wind can flow right through it to keep you warm. I've even heard some guys say they actually feel cooler in a sport coat like that than they would in a t-shirt, because in a way it is isolating you from the sun while at the same time the wind is able to pass through it. So that's definitely something like that. That's definitely something I would recommend for spring and summer. And then once you have that, then you can venture out into more colorful options like different patterns and different fabrics and those type of things. But that's where I would definitely start, because that's going to go with almost every color of trousers as well. Gray trousers and navy sport coats is a match made in heaven. That's the security guard look that we call it. It's the classic menswear uniform. So I'm wearing a light brown flannel trouser right now, but you can wear it with pretty much anything. You can wear it with green. You can wear it with all sorts of grays, all sorts of browns. You can wear it with khaki, tan. You can wear it with a bunch of different colors. So that's where I would go to start.
Okay. And like, does the style matter as far as like single-breasted, double-breasted?
So,
and colors, or?
So single-breasted are always going to be a bit more casual, not casual, but less formal than a double-breasted. So double-breasted are typically considered to be more formal. So when we're talking about sport coats and blazers, I typically recommend you do single-breasted. Obviously, once you start building a good collection, then you can venture out into double-breasted options. But to start and to establish that kind of wardrobe, I would start with a single-breasted.
Single-breasted?
Yeah, but that's a good question. I would start with a single-breasted, yeah. And, you want it to be relaxed. You want it to have patch pockets. You want it to have usually like a softer shoulder, because it's not a suit jacket. It's a sport coat. So you do want it to look different.
Okay. And you never want it to be like this, like say if you're wearing a navy sport coat, you never want to wear navy, like a navy separate, like navy trousers.
You don't want to do that because it's going to end up looking like a cheap suit. So, and that's not what you want. So you want to wear something that's going to complement it, the good news is because it's navy, it will go with a ton of different colors. But I would stay away from anything that's the same color family. Even if it's a different shade of blue, I would still stay away from that because it's like, why do that when you can do so many other things? You know what I mean?
Okay, like play around with browns, grays,
exactly.
even corduroys, herringbone.
Yep. And also, you might want to play with the different shades. So because navy is darker, so for trousers, you probably want to do something that's a little bit lighter. You know what I mean? So even if it's gray, you kind of want to do medium gray and lighter gray, even though charcoal gray will go as well. But I think that medium gray is the best because it's a lighter shade. So personally, I try to wear lighter shades, with navy sport coats.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Definitely makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, if you go to different brands, they will have sport coats that are already styled in that way, so that you don't have to worry about different ways of asking for like lighter shoulders. I should say softer shoulders, patch pockets. They are already going to come like that for the most part, depending on where you buy them from. So,
okay.
Yep. So that's one less thing to worry about. But if you're getting something made, then that's when you have to be mindful of what you're asking for, because then it's up to you to make those decisions. So that's when I would say patch pockets, softer shoulders. That's when you really have to be mindful of those things.
So then it would come down to like your personal preference.
Yeah. So personal preference plays a part in that. I think with a sport coat though, you do have to be careful because you don't want it to end up looking like a suit jacket. So even though if your personal preference is to have regular pockets, I would say try to lean towards having flap patch pockets as opposed to having flaps on them. You know what I mean? Because it's going to look more casual because of that, which is what you're really going for the most part when you're talking about a sport coat versus a suit jacket.
Okay.
Blazer, on the other hand, might have flaps. Because blazers are considered a bit more formal than a sport coat. That's why they have the gold buttons, and those type of things. But a sport coat itself can be a bit less formal.
We'll be right back.
Yo, real quick, I got something very special to share. Are you ready to elevate your style game? Well, I got just the thing for you and it won't cost you a dime. Introducing my latest ebook, The 7 Style Mistakes That You're Making Right Now. It's packed with insights to help you up your style game. In this exclusive guide, I break down the common pitfalls that many of us fall into. From fashion faux pas to overlooked details, I got you covered. You'll learn how to turn heads for all the right reasons and boost your confidence in any situation. So are you ready to transform your wardrobe and leave those style mistakes behind? Head over to I'mNotAGentleman.com or click the link in the show notes to grab your copy of the 7 Style Mistakes That You're Making Right Now. It's a game changer and it's 100% free. Thanks for tuning in today. And remember, style is a reflection of who you are. Let's make sure you're sending the right message. Grab your copy now and let's embark on this style journey together. Until next time, stay stylish.
Okay. Yep. But which one would you say is like more versatile? The blazer or the sport coat?
No, definitely the sport coat. Yeah, because you can dress up the sport coat, where it's a little bit harder to dress down the blazer.
Blazer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Would you say like the blazer is like outdated, like more of like older style?
Some people associate it with that. I wouldn't say that myself. I think they play different functions. So I wouldn't say it's more outdated. But some people associate, like when they see gold buttons, sometimes it may have a crest on it, and people associate that with older styles, but it's I wouldn't go that far. Just, they play a different function. They play a different position. So.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So it's like a cross between the sport coat and the suit. It's like right in between those two, in my opinion.
Okay, as far as
Not as formal as a suit, not as casual as a sport coat, like right in between.
okay,
Hmm.
all right.
Yeah.
It's just the sport coat is more versatile.
Correct. Yeah, you can do more with it because you can still wear a tie with a sport coat. I'm wearing a sport coat right now. I can throw on a tie, but that's just a personal choice. And when I'm wearing a sport coat, I don't do a tie with it. Because if I want to wear a tie, then I'll wear a suit. You see what I'm saying? But once again, that's just personal choice. You could easily wear a tie with a sport coat.
And then under, you're wearing like OCBD?
Yeah, I'm wearing OCBD.
Button down.
Good question. Yeah, because if I'm wearing a sport coat, I'm also wearing OCBD. I don't like to wear my spread collar shirts unbuttoned, like having the collar unbuttoned. So if I'm wearing a spread collar shirt, I'm wearing a tie. If I'm wearing a sport coat or a blazer, I'm wearing a button down collar with no tie.
All right, that makes sense. Like how would you like layer it? Would you wear like a sweater vest or a cardigan on?
Yeah, you can do a sleeveless cardigan. You can do a regular cardigan. Personally, I'm a huge fan of a sleeveless cardigan, but in the past, I've worn regular cardigans as well. I wouldn't do like a shock collar cardigan because when I wear those, I don't wear a sport coat over them. So actually those I actually use as a sport coat. If I want to be a bit less casual, then I just don't want a shock collar cardigan. But yeah, but cardigans work whether you go sleeveless or with sleeves, or you can do like a regular V-neck under there too, or even a crew neck too. You can do all those things under your sport coat. About when it comes to layering.
Okay.
Yep.
And they're good to wear with like obviously trousers, but corduroy and different fabrics of trousers, and even like dark wash jeans.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Like you said, assuming that the jeans are a little bit dressier, I wouldn't do a sport coat with the jeans that are ripped at the knees.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. But if it's like you said, a darker wash, like a raw denim that's kind of new, where it still has that dark indigo color, then yeah, you can do that for sure. So in that case, it's blue and blue, but it doesn't really matter because one is obviously a denim and one is a sport coat, so that's not going to clash there.
Different fabrics.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
That definitely is definitely I look towards purchasing in my next couple of just going through like my whole closet actually.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the biggest like benefit with the mastermind is like we're able to get like good insight, and we also get to learn from each other's mistakes.
Absolutely.
Like we'll post, like a couple of the guys would post like different outfits, and then each of you, the style architect, the style jumper, is able to critique and say, hey, the shoulders on the jacket is short.
Absolutely.
It's tight throughout the shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe try these. Try going in this direction.
Yep.
And we're able to kind of like learn off of each other. Versus, because I know even before, like you would think, like you'd make a purchase, you'd buy something, you'd wear it, then you look at the pictures and be like, hey, what was I doing?
Yeah.
Like 100%. I bought a shirt, like those shirt sets that come with a tie, come with a pocket square. They're not even like it would be an orange with an orange tie, plum tie.
Yep, 100%. Yep.
Got the green with the green, and it's like, wow.
Yeah, it's easy, right?
You have to burn them, burn the pic, burn everything, just burn everything.
Facts, man. Guys go for easy though. So if they walk into a store and they see that it's already put together, or the mannequin is wearing it, they're like, oh, this is it right there. So they don't even have to put any thought into it, but they should have put some more thought into it. You know what I mean? But you're right though. You're right about the menswear mastermind, because it's good to learn from your mistakes, right? Because dressing well takes a lot of trial and error, but if you can learn from somebody else's mistake, that's even better. because you don't have to make the mistake
Definitely.
yourself. Somebody else already made it. So now you can just listen to the solution and go from there. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's good to get like opinions and expertise from people that know what they're talking about versus let's say you wear something and like you think like you're killing it, and then like you may have peers, they're also like encouraging you like, hey, you look good or whatever, but they may not even know, and it's not
yeah.
their fault. It's
No, they
just
mean well.
ignorance,
Absolutely. They mean well.
just. And then so it's kind of like once you have that light bulb go off in your head, and then you're really able to like refine and pull back and then make better decisions, and
Absolutely.
you're able to kind of get better results, whether
Yeah.
in different situations, whether you're going to a wedding, whether you're a black tie event,
Hmm.
whether you even doing an interview, just putting pieces together to get the desired result
Yes.
is is imperative, because
100%.
you never want to have an intention of doing something, but then communicating something opposite of
Hmm.
what you're trying to show.
Yeah,
Um,
because your clothes says a lot, even though you don't hear them, they are talking. So it's very important that you are sending the right signals. I know that's one thing that Style Architect is big on. So that's why I love the Menswear Mastermind, because I'm learning myself not only from Style Architect and Style Jumper, but also from you guys. But I know that's something that is very big on, because your clothes is definitely talking.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And that's one of the mindset shifts that I teach all my students. Compliments, you shouldn't put a lot of stock in them, because like you said, your friends might be complimenting you or putting the battery in your back, and they don't mean any harm. They really think that this is the way that it should be. You see what I'm saying? So you kind of have to consider the source when somebody pays you a compliment. Like, does that person know what they're talking about? Most of the time, they're not going to know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying to shun them when they give you a compliment, but, take it with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? Because that shouldn't be the barometer that you use to measure that you're killing it, you know,
Yeah, definitely.
which is something that a lot of guys do. I'll mention, light brown shoes and dark suits don't go together. They'll be like, man, I get so many compliments. Of course you get compliments, bro, because it's in people's faces, such a stark contrast. They have to say something, but that's not a reason for you to keep wearing it because you think it's good. I know it's hard to hear though, because everybody loves to get compliments, but just consider the source of said compliments, you know?
Definitely. But I think a lot of it could also just be they may not know, like a lot of, because it's very it has like there's a lot of details that you have to really pay attention to when wearing like certain garments, like even
Absolutely.
especially down to like how trousers should fit, how
Yes.
shoes should fit, like when you wear a shirt, the collar. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of like I'll notice while watching like videos or like what do anything. I'll see if I see a guy wearing a suit and I look at his collar,
Mm-hmm.
and if the collar, I can see like the whole collar, and then they have their jacket over, and I can
Mm-hmm.
see the whole collar.
Yes.
Then, or even the gap. Like let's say, like right
Mm-hmm.
here, if they're like
Yes.
standing up straight with the jacket,
Sure.
and you can
Sure.
see the gap there,
Sure.
it's like you know.
Yeah.
Or if they
It's
wear the suit and then like the seat,
mm-hmm.
their jacket seat is like short. It's like shorter than it's not covering
Yes.
the whole
Yes.
um
Seat.
back of their trousers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like little things, and it's
Yep.
like
And that's the gift and the curse of information, right? Because once you start having that information, you can't then unsee certain things. Those things will just jump at you where before you never noticed them before, you know? So the curse is now you can't unnotice those things. You can't just go out to dinner and just enjoy your food. Now you're looking at what everybody else is wearing in the restaurant, So that's
yeah,
something that I have to deal with all the time, unfortunately. Like even my wife, she notices those things because she's been hearing me talk about them for so long. But it's fun, man. Menswear is fun. So, when I see certain things, I, laugh to myself. But it's fun, man. You can't put the toothpaste back into the tube like they say once you start knowing certain things, but it's fun, because it's like a secret language that we speak.
Yes, but I wish I would have known, like, the more it's like, I wish I would have known this earlier,
Yeah,
But
but
then it's like you dodge a bullet because it's like, I know anytime you have an event or anything, it's like, all right, I know I'm going to do a lot better. And then over time, you do better, better,
yeah,
better.
making mistakes in the beginning is what makes, when you start dressing well, feel so good, because you can see the contrast of what you was wearing before to what you're wearing now. So if you were well dressed from the beginning, then you kind of take that for granted. But when you
Okay.
look back at pictures and see, man, I wasn't doing too good, it makes the way that you look now so much better, because you remember those days when you were struggling. Like I love to tell people, I was one of the worst dressed guys that ever walked. You know what I mean? So, and I wouldn't have it any other way, man, because it makes me appreciate the stage that I'm on now, that I'm in now, so much more because of that,
Yeah,
And, my
definitely.
dad used to try to talk to me about menswear. My dad was a heavy menswear guy. And back then you couldn't pay me to wear a suit, bro. So everything went into one ear and out the other, Even my best friend, I remember I bought a $400 jersey one time. And he was like, you could have spent that on a suit, right? You don't even have one good suit. I'm like, yo, bro, I don't, I rap, bro. I'm not trying to wear a suit. You know what I mean? So it's crazy to see where I'm at now, and definitely makes me appreciate the journey even more.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Was there
It's
another question that I can help answer for you while you got me here today?
Yeah, I have one final question.
Let's hear it, man.
Yeah, I want to know, like, what other like essential pieces do you think that is imperative that men can add to the wardrobe, as far as like on the less dressy side, like on casual or even business casual, besides like the sport coat and blazer.
Mm-hmm. Well, we can go a couple different ways with this. One thing that's imperative that every man have is that medium gray trouser.
Okay.
Because that's one way to start dressing better without actually wearing a full suit or even wearing a sport coat, because a lot of time guys ask me, where should they start? They don't really want to go all the way in yet, but they kind of want to start dressing a little bit nicer than, let's say, their coworkers, but without showing the coworkers off. They don't want to show up in a suit. They don't want to show up in a sport coat. Having a nice pair of trousers is a really good way to start. So, I always recommend high-rise trouser. Doesn't matter how
Okay.
tall you are, how short you are. You should be wearing high-rise trousers. You should be wearing pleats. Pleats, not only do they serve a function because they make the trousers more comfortable, especially when you're sitting down, because that's when the pleats will open to give you more room. But they also look better to my eyes, especially when you're talking about a high-rise trouser, because with the high-rise trousers, they are more fabric in the front, right? Because it's higher. So therefore, it's definitely going to look better when it has pleats than not have pleats, And then you
Okay.
can do a cuff on there. I recommend a 2-inch cuff, but if somebody's, let's say, under 5'8", then you can do maybe a 1.5-inch cuff. But all those things are going to start making you fall in love with classic menswear. So just like when you hear women talk, typically they'll talk about a little black dress. Like when they want to feel
Mm-hmm.
sexy, they'll throw in a little black dress. I feel like a nice gray trouser, medium gray trouser, is equivalent to that. So that's an essential piece that every man should have. I have so many different pairs of medium gray trousers. I have them for different seasons, and I also have some that are different lengths. Because if I'm wearing them with boots, I want them to be a bit higher. But I have so many different pairs, but I never really stop. So a lot of time when I meet a new maker and they ask me, what do I want to try? I'll try medium gray trousers because I want to see how they do that before we move on to suits and those other things. So to me, that's an essential piece that every man should have in their closet. Hopefully multiple pieces for different seasons, but at least one of those because it's going to go with everything. You can dress it
Okay.
down. You can throw on a cardigan with it. You can even wear sneakers with it. Because you're not wearing a sport coat. You don't have to wear a sport coat. You know what I mean? You can wear like a minimalistic sneaker with a pair of medium gray trouser. It can go a really long way.
Really? Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So that's what I would recommend as that one essential piece that every man should have.
Okay.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yes,
All right.
sir. How are you doing with shoes and those things?
With shoes, I know what what I want for shoes because I have like a dark brown Oxford
Yep.
that I can wear. But I did see like one from TBL Mallorca,
CLB
which
Mallorca.
is
Yep.
yeah, it's like a black Oxford, but then like towards like the upper half of it is like a black suede. So
Okay.
I'm that would be like my next shoe,
Yeah.
and then thinking like a suede chukka boot
Yep. Can't go
for
wrong with
fall,
those. Yep.
and then after that I'll just start incorporating like suede Oxfords because I really like Oxfords,
Yeah. Yep.
but like suede variants like dark browns,
Yep.
light brown,
I know
and
what you
then
mean because when I started with shoes, I would the Oxfords myself. Well, I had a couple monk straps in there too, but I didn't have any
okay,
loafers. I didn't have any boots. I didn't have any split toe derbies. So all those things came later. But what I did have was I had a lot of suede shoes also because I would wear the suede shoes casually, like without trousers and sport coats, and then but I wouldn't have any shoes that were just casual shoes. They were just casual Oxfords because they were suede. So I know exactly what you mean. And then eventually, though, I discovered the split toe derby and then lost my mind after that. But at first, it was strictly Oxfords for me too, and then just suede Oxfords, casually.
yeah, like for some reason anytime I go to like a brand, that's like the first style that I always go to is Oxford.
Yeah, yeah. I'm split toe derbies are
But
definitely my favorite style, I would say. But I
okay,
still have a soft spot for Oxfords as well. I still have a ton of Oxfords too. Besides suede, I'm leaning a lot towards grain. So almost
grain,
every shoe that I've gotten the past year, except for like one or two, has been some type of grain. So,
grain,
mhm.
grain of it.
Yep.
Okay.
Good.
Now also I think maybe after that towards when it gets warmer, I want to have like some tassel loafers.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because it's one of the most versatile pieces that you can have is the tassel loafer, in my opinion. Some guys will say it's a penny loafer. I don't think there's a wrong answer there. I think they both play the same exact role. It just comes down to preference. And me, I just like the visual interest that the tassels have, so I go with a tassel loafer. But yeah, you can definitely kill those in all seasons, but definitely the spring and summer is definitely a good time to rock them too. Can't go wrong with those for sure. And when you're ready, let me know inside of the Menswear Mastermind, and we can definitely talk about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, sir.
That's the plan.
Yep. So what was the biggest takeaway from this episode? Was I able to help you clarify things?
Definitely. Biggest I didn't know there was like in between like sport coat and then blazer. I thought they were both of the same like garment.
Yeah.
So it was good to kind of get clarification on like what occasion to wear which garment and which one is more versatile. And then also incorporating other pieces into those.
Yeah.
Like different outfits that you can wear with either or.
Absolutely.
And the gray trousers.
Yeah.
The versatility of those. I didn't even know. I know you said that you can wear them. You can wear them without, with just like casual like sneakers, suede sneakers.
Yep.
Things like that without even like a sport coat or.
Absolutely. Like I wouldn't rock them with, let's say, a pair of New Balance. Because if people know me, they know how much I love my New Balance shoes. So I mean sneakers. So I typically wear those with chinos or denim. But if it's a like a minimalistic sneaker. For example, I have one from Vekla. So those you can definitely wear them with a gray trouser, you know.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. So, like what I learned in this session was like I have a good plan of attack
Mhm.
and just a better understanding of the things in between and below, like formal wear.
Yeah, absolutely. Because wearing a suit is easy, right? Because it's one piece. You don't really have to put much thought into it. But when you start talking about separates, it's when, to me, it gets more fun. But you also have to, it can go wrong too, because now you have to think about the top and the bottom as two different things. And you have to make sure that they go together. You see what I'm saying? So it's not hard, but it's not as easy as wearing a suit. And when I first started into menswear, you would never find any pictures of me really wearing a sport coat and out trouser combination because I didn't really know how to do it well. You see what I'm saying? So I would just wear suits all the time because of that reason. So when you start mastering the out trousers and sport coat look, then everything just get easier. And the biggest mistakes guys make in the beginning is by trying to complicate it too much. They're thinking, okay, I need a navy, but I also need a bunch of other color of sport coats. When you really
Yeah.
don't, you really need the navy, and then you probably need like a few different trousers because that navy can be worn with so many different trouser colors. And then after that, then you start moving into more pattern sport coats. You see what I'm saying? But in the beginning, all you really need is that one navy and just have different trousers to wear it with. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, sir. Well, it was a pleasure having you on the Wardrobe Audit. And, we'll definitely get together inside of the Menswear Mastermind to continue the conversation and answer any other questions that you may have. So thanks.
Definitely.
Yes, sir. So thanks for tuning in to another episode on the Wardrobe Audit, and come back again next week for another fire episode. Peace.
Bagging that, bagging that, bagging.